Hello everybody, welcome to our live studio show here at the MNC MXGP of Sumbawa, Indonesia, with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. And yeah, we're back in these fantastic parts. In a moment we'll catch up with our guests, but let's give you an idea who's to come in up on the show today. Round 10 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. We've got first up Liam Everts from Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, followed by Ben Watson from MRT Beta Racing Team, and Antti Pyrhönen, the team manager from Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP. But before we meet our first guest, I'm going to come in and chat with Lisa Leyland. Lisa, here we are on the fry box because we're still in the sun.
I can almost top up my tan, but now I'm in the shade, so yeah.
Well, I'm frying. And it's
I can see that. You got a proper bead on there.
I have got a bead on. Well, look, you didn't make it last year.
Unfortunately not, no.
Yeah, what do you think?
I experienced the media event yesterday, and it was absolutely amazing. The people, the fans, they love it. And it was really nice to experience that, because I missed out on that last year.
You did. Well, I tell you what, another rider who wasn't here last year and experienced the media opportunity, Liam Everts.
I was actually with him during that experience, wasn't I, Liam?
Yeah. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Liam, before we started the show then, what happened on the media event last night?
Yeah, it got quite out of hand, didn't it?
I almost got eaten by a horse. That
was a bit my teammate's fault, the little one, Sasha. So, no, but we had some good fun. We made some memories, so it was nice to be in the city.
Well, as we said, look, first time here. You didn't make it last year, but what are your overall impressions of the track? First time being here. The layout looks fantastic, and that was the first impression that everybody got last year.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice place, nice venue. The layout of the track is nice, but I just think it's a fast track. Of course, I'm a son of my father who likes the technical parts more, and this is a more fast one, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to go racing and line up.
All right, well, look, the pleasantries out of the way. Let's start with the obvious. Congratulations, first of all, on winning the MXGP of Germany a couple of weekends ago. You're now an MX2 Grand Prix winner. I don't imagine you're one of these people that feet get too far off the ground anyway, but have you managed to come back down to earth ever so slightly before this round in Indonesia?
Yeah, sure. It's very nice to win your first one, and I didn't expect it to come in Torchental. Of course, I had, let's say, a bit of up and down relationship there. But yeah, Monday was nice to celebrate and let it sink in. And then Tuesday, I just got back to work, and it was another week, and try and focus on this doubleheader.
You said you celebrated. How did you celebrate? Because I guess it was very much a family affair for you guys.
Yeah, my grandparents came over, of course, Harry, and my dad's mum. We had a nice barbecue on Monday evening, so it was nice to come together.
Well, you not only got the overall, but you sealed it with a race win, your very first race win in MX2. That's a good way of getting it done, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to get that race win actually out of the way, too.
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't expect it. I just got into that situation, and in race one, actually, I was in first for a little while, too, and then I was behind Lucas, but then I just sort of cramped up because I'm not really used to being in that situation. And then in Moto 2, I just, I think I executed it perfectly because Andrea was close on 4 seconds, I think, and I knew the next 3 laps would be crucial after Lucas had the bike failure, and that's what I did, and I just managed to get from that point.
Obviously, you'd won a couple of 125 European Championship races, and obviously every stage of your career, that first win is always, kind of special. How did this one, and I know it sounds like an obvious question, but how did this win feel sort of compared to the double race wins that you had at Matterley, for instance, back in 125? Because obviously, at that time in your 125 career, that was still a big moment for you, and then obviously you're dealing with nerves and pressure, so nerves and pressure in this situation as well?
Yeah, at that point, winning European Championship 125 is a big thing then, and you never imagine of winning a GP, so it's something a lot bigger, and of course it's an MX2 race, it's not an MXGP race, but still it counts as a GP win. So I didn't expect that.
And now that you've got that first race win, that first Grand Prix win, do you feel like there's a weight lifted off your shoulder? You've kind of been able to breathe a sigh of relief a little bit now, because obviously you've been close. A couple of podiums, leading in, and then obviously this one. Are you just like a little bit more relaxed about how you go racing now?
Yeah, for sure. Like getting that podium, which was last year, was close, and just not making it on a few occasions. Getting that out of the way was a big relief already, and just clicking that off to know I could do it, and doing it again in Villar. Yeah, the next one was actually winning a GP, and I was not actually so focused on doing that. Just going racing and getting more experience, and just seeing every race how it comes, you know, just going, and then all of a sudden it came very quick. But it was very relieving, especially with the pressure, of course, of being a third generation. It's nice that that's lifted. Yeah.
Well, this season is turning out to actually be a breakout season for you, isn't it? You have 3 podiums so far. Your first came in Trentino. How much of a surprise was that? Did you believe coming into this year that podiums would be possible?
Yeah, I think for sure that was my goal, to just keep that, keep improving, and yeah, it's I'm a bit not a late bloomer, but just someone who keeps up the curve and not just is a superstar in one go, like maybe Lucas. Or I really just take my time and yeah, build it up. That's what I just want to keep doing.
And your reaction when Tony told you that you were second overall, I mean, it was just priceless. How much of a good moment was that?
I was more happy than Andrea, actually. I was just so happy. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was just such a big weight lifted off my shoulders, and yeah, it's something very nice and something you will never ever forget.
Well, we have that reaction coming up here because it's obviously Adamo crossing the line, followed by you. So obviously,
I didn't actually know. Like most of the races, you'll know, Paul, you're counting and you would have an idea, but I had like no idea. I was just very, very focused, and at this moment, I like realized like, oh, I'm on the podium. Like,
I love moments like that in this sport.
Yeah, but that was the first one. Great day.
Yep.
More emotional than the win.
Yes, actually, yes. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. What's the goal now then? Because obviously you're 6 in points and not a million miles off the lead, to be fair. What, 60, 70 points, something like that, 67 or whatever. Can you win the title realistically this year? Is it something that you are thinking about, or are you just, you know, you're just like, nah?
I just go with it, and I mean, I'm not saying my job is done. Like I'm a winner's type, and every weekend I want to go out and win. But that was not my goal coming into the season. It's not my goal now. If I would even get close to that, that's only a bonus. I'm not looking at that. I'm just focusing on weekend, like each weekend comes, and not looking at that at all.
All right. Well, look, Liam Everts, we are out of time, but thanks for joining us here. Congratulations again on winning the Grand Prix in Germany a couple of weekends ago. And yeah, second half of the season. So keep doing the same, and we'll see where you end up at the end of it all.
I'll do my best for you.
No worries.
Thanks,
well, look, before you disappear, no behind the gate this week, but what we will show you, some highlights from MX2 Race 2 at this very venue last year. So if you've never seen the track before and you want to sort of see what the guys are racing, take a look at these highlights from MX2 Race 2 12 months ago. With his 6th box hole shot of the season. Oh, look at that. Kids and Bournemouth collecting each other from 4th and 5th place. But leading the way, it is Vial across Langfelder. Who will win first between these two? Vial or Langfelder? The German is in tune. injury just starting to fade, but what a fantastic performance from Carl Nathan. Tilo Benetton and Core and Pat Adamo. Third place, now in the hands of the Yamaha man. And in pit lane, and he was right down the inside. Adamo thought he got it covered, and then he outbraked himself. Benetton stuck down the inside. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGP TV with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, round 10 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, and this is the SNC MXGP of Sumbawa, Indonesia. Ben Watson is in with us now from Marchetti Racing Team, MRT Racing Team, obviously riding for Beta. Ben, good to see you, round 10, and obviously, yeah, start of the year, new team, new bike and all the rest of it, but obviously since this is the first time we've had you on the show, how is life as a factory Beta rider for you been so far?
Yeah, of course, it's been a big change for me. I had a really difficult year last year, and yeah, I actually just went on holiday, and then I was like, I didn't contact anyone or really, push to make a move for something new this season. And yeah, they were the team that called me and showed their interest, and yeah, I went to try the bike, and yeah, I just felt good with the atmosphere, and I thought this could be a good way to try to, step back up again and, find the love back. So yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. I mean, round 10 already, it's gone pretty quick actually, and yeah, here we are in Indonesia. This one's always a tough one for me because yeah, the heat, I'm just not used to it, and I feel like, yeah, when I'm out there I'm not tired, but it's just like I've got a blanket over me, and yeah, mentally, physically it's really tough, but of course the same for everyone.
Well, here's the good news, we're in Indonesia again next week.
Yeah. No, but I like it here. I like travelling and I like coming to new places, so
Stop it.
It's
I couldn't
an
resist.
interesting one.
Well, look, obviously it's the third year, I think, for the bike for Beta in MXGP. How has the process been for you in terms of developing the new bike and being involved in that role? Because I guess you've never really been in that kind of position before and being part of that design and develop and test team. And how important is it that Alessandro Lupino, who's Italian, in that team, is on the journey with you as well?
Yeah, it's been interesting, honestly, for me to be there, and kind of they want to know from me what changes they want to, what I want, and it goes actually into the bike instead of just making something for me. So it's actually preparing a bike for production in the future. So that's quite interesting for me, and I think that's really good for the bike because it's been built on on the highest level, let's say, and then yeah, it's been good because I can really choose what I want, but of course I need to be patient with everything because it is new. They're also still learning as well as me, and it's not as easy as saying I want this and then the following week that it comes on the table. It's we need to test everything durability wise, and you cannot just bring it the week later onto a race, otherwise we're going to have some problems. So no, in that way it's obviously learning for me, but also good for the team. And then Alessandro, he was there last year, so he already has a little bit of experience with that, and he's been in the GP scene a lot longer than me, so he's a really good teammate. You can learn from him again, same as last year with Roman, and yeah, I've enjoyed it with him. I have a good relationship again with him, and it's fun. It's a fun group to be with.
Cool.
You're currently 12th in the general standings. How would you assess your season so far?
Very mixed. I mean, it's been quite a difficult season in a way of I've had quite a lot of races where I've DNF'd and not scored points. So I think already I've had 5 races where I've had 0 point scoring due to a few reasons. So on that way it's been difficult, but I feel like when I'm feeling good, and yeah, honestly I feel not bad, and it's still a long way to go in this season. So I want to just keep building and consistently.
But there have been a few notable performances for you. I mean, you're at the Sharp End in Trentino. How did you feel there? Did that catch you by surprise?
Yeah, I just had a really good start, and then Trentino I always feel confident there, and I can put some good laps in there. So it was one of them where I got a good start and was just able to kind of follow and ride on my pace. But that's been, my biggest struggle this year is the time qualifying, which has been a bit of a struggle for me, and even in previous years, and that's setting me up in the qualifying race with a bad start position. But when I get a good start, I can do it. So a few things to work on as always, but it's still nice to put a few good laps in every now and then.
Intensity is a good word, or a word that a lot of MXGP riders kind of band about a lot, and sort of say how intense the class is and all the rest of it. As a rider, do you feel that intensity level has gone up a notch this year? It seems to go up every year, but have you felt it this year?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. And especially in lap times, because for me, I'm one of them riders, if I don't feel 100% comfortable, I can't, push to that next level and take the risk. And as you see this year, there's been, again, a lot of injuries, unfortunately, and it's one of them things. You need to find your limit and your edge and find your maximum, and sometimes I can go a little bit more, but if I have a sketchy moment or something and I'm like, and I back down, and that affects me a little bit too much than maybe what I should let's say. And sometimes if I feel good and I get a good lap, then my time is good. So it's not that I can't do it, but it's just mentally finding that point.
How do you deal with that side of the sport, and as a rider, how do you train for that sort of intensity, and how much of it would you say is mental?
A lot of it for me, I'd say, is mental, but also in training, like you have to find that balance, because you can't just go training during the week and just be blasting lap times after lap times, because on one moment it's going to get too much, and when you're pushing it like 110%, on one moment something's going to happen, because this is like you're riding on the edge, and if you want to be at the sharp end in MXGP, that is for one lap what you need to do.
Well, in Germany a couple of weeks ago, you got some airtime in race 2. Started 6th, ran there for a while. What do you need to do to sort of sustain that kind of pace, and for you to sort of bring it home in those 5th and 6th positions? Because as you mentioned a moment ago, if there's any kind of risk, that's not for you, but obviously you get that good start. Can you stay there 5th, 6th? What's it going to take for you to kind of be able to bring it home there?
Yeah, I think it's mainly like the reason you say in Germany you had a good race, or in Trentino you had one good race, and I think it's purely that, like, I've just not been there enough. And when I get there, I'm pushing, I'm riding on that level a little bit higher than what I usually would be, if I'm in 12th, 13th. So it's just, on one moment I get to a point and I need to just breathe and calm down again. And when you're in 6th, you're pushing. It's a very high level. So for me, just trying to put myself in that situation more often and just get myself used to it, and then they come more often.
We enter the second half of the season this weekend. What's on your wish list between now and the final round?
For me, just keep enjoying it like I am doing. I definitely want to try to improve my time qualifying, and this is a weak point for me, so if I can build there and try to improve there, then I would be happy, because in qualifying that would give me a better start, and then one session leads on to the next. Then I've got a better gate pick for the main races, and when I get a good start, then I can ride in 5th, 6th. So one thing leads to another, and I think it needs to start from the time practice. And again, like I said before, just try to keep consistent and keep building throughout the rest of the year to the end.
All right, well, look, and Watson, we are out of time, but thanks for joining us here. All the best for the rest of the season, and hopefully break into that top 10 overall in the championship.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, look, Antti Pyrhönen is getting ready to come and join us in a moment, but before we disappear, let's recap what happened here last year. If you've not seen the track before, here's some highlights from MXGP Race 2 here at Sumbawa. The MXGP of Indonesia here at Sumbawa, MXGP Race 2. Prado around the outside with a foxhole shot once again. And Fernandez down inside. Moves into third place, but drives it back to the fourth. The champ is not expecting that. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here, round 10 of the FIM Motocross World Championship for the MNC MXGP of Sumbawa, Indonesia, with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our final guest joins us now, Antti Pyrhönen, team manager from Kawasaki factory, Kawasaki MXGP factory.
Yeah.
I've lost my words. Kawasaki Racing Team.
First time ever.
Yeah. Kawasaki Racing Team, MXGP.
That's a good
there
one.
you go.
A good one, Antti.
Well, we had it last year, didn't we? Antti, great to see you. And here we are back in Indonesia. But before we start talking about the track and the season with the riders and the team, just for those who don't know, logistically, how difficult is this race to sort of prepare for? You know, when does it start? How is the process? And, you know, because obviously it's the same for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's not difficult but challenging. So it requires lots of work and lots of time that you need to put on it and be focused. So everything starts first of all months ago already. We need to decide who's gonna go with us, the crew, all the materials we need to do, the ATA carnets ready, and from there on, you know, when the administration side is done, eventually it gets up to pack the boxes and make sure that we have everything there we need, you know, for these conditions, and then have the flights, hotels, and rent the cars and everything. So it's a big organization, but on the other hand, it's also very rewarding. So eventually, when you have everything running smoothly, everything working, so it's also really nice.
Well, let's move on to the championship then. We're at the halfway stage now of the season. Roman Fevre is currently third in points. How would you evaluate his season so far?
I think he's doing a really good job. So basically, he's all the time there collecting the points, collecting podiums, multiple podiums, and also basically, if he is not on the box, he's right close to that one. So really like doing exactly like we planned to be there, you know, collect the points and be there for a long run, because we are approximately mid-season now. So there is another half to go, and we are still there. And this is the most important thing in MXGP, that first of all, that you can become champion or you can be on top 3. You need to survive the season, and so basically he's doing great. And only let's say bad luck we had was in Spain when he had the start crash. That was absolutely not on his hands, so that was very unfortunate. But on the other hand, we were also lucky that he didn't get injured there, worse. So far so good. 4
podiums so far for Roman. I guess the most memorable one came in France, where he took his first race win of the season as well. Just how important was that for him and for the team?
Yeah, for sure it was important. So basically for him to do the podium after that Spain crash, and especially winning the second moto was very important for him, you know, like if he was second or third, you know, then that emotion was maybe a little bit less. Was for sure happy to get the podium, but to actually win, that was very rewarding for him. And Roman, he wants to win, you know, that's his character, and he's capable to do that, and he knows it himself. So sometimes when he can't win or do it, you know, when it's close to reach, you know, then it's very frustrating for him. But yeah, that was a great for him, and as well for the team. You know, we have a great team, great staff, and everybody works so hard for it, and really pushing 7 days a week work, you know, from morning to night, and it's those moments are really like rewarding for everybody, and really like all the hard work pays off.
But also a good confidence boost for him as well, because the next GP in Latvia, he got back-to-back podiums, the first time this year. Yeah,
indeed. So Latvia, it was tough track for everybody, you know, quite unpredictable, and generally first moto was not exactly going like planned, but then second moto he almost won it again, you know, so it was a really good job, and he's happy, you know, generally he's really super happy with the bike and everything Kawasaki is providing us, so yeah, let's keep going.
Fantastic podium as well.
Yeah.
He enjoyed that one, you can tell.
Yeah.
He was just there a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah.
Well, look, obviously you got a newcomer to the team, Mitch Evans. unfortunately, he missed the first 4 rounds because of a thumb injury. But he's making progress. 7th overall in Germany a couple of weekends ago. Where is he at now, and how do you see him improving?
Yeah, so for Mitch, basically, it was the worstest time to get the small injury. You know, it was just before the first GP. So really, basically the worst time to get this type of trouble, and then he missed the train. And then he came back to GPs. We knew he's not riding fit, he's not racing fit, but we brought him to races to gain that fitness. And it took 3-4 races, and there was like baby steps visible, you know, and small improvements. But finally, in Germany, he was showing already now what he's capable to do, and for sure he can do even more. That's no doubt. But for the next step, we need again a little bit more time. And generally, the thing for Mitch is now try to keep solid performance like in Germany was. And just keep that going, and I believe that it's still good second half of the season for him.
Yeah. Well, he was 6th overall last year in Indonesia at this track, so he obviously likes the place. What was his feedback in practice, after practice? Does he still have a good feeling with it?
Yeah, he had great feeling. So at the moment the track's quite flat and fast, so he likes when it's a little bit more technical, but I think when the weekend goes on, he can repeat the German results.
Well, last year we were only in Indonesia for 1 GP. This year it's back-to-back rounds. We're in Lombok next weekend. Just how challenging is that for the team to be away in temporary conditions like that for 2 weeks?
Actually, for us it's quite good. You know, it's even better to do 2 back-to-back than just do 1 overseas and then head back straight away to Europe. So for the stuff, you know, like you get at least a couple of days, little bit free. And they can little bit take a deep breath, you know, and get ready for another weekend. But when you basically do only 1 overseas, it means that we fly in, we fly out, and that's really super heavy. And then the work continues directly in Europe. So actually, our team and myself, we prefer these even back to back as long time as they are in same continent. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, Antti, thanks for shedding some light on our, flyaway rounds in terms of like what it's like to be here, get here, and obviously now doing these back-to-backs, and of course, about the team as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Antti.
And all the best for the rest of the season as we enter the second half of the year.
Thank you.
But look, that's all we've got time for this weekend on our live studio show here on MXGP TV with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa. Thanks to Antti, thanks to Ben Watson, and of course Liam Everts. We'll be back live in just a few hours' time, 3:15 with the Ram MX2 qualifying race, followed immediately after that with the Ram MXGP qualifying race, and all the races will be live on Sunday from midday local time. We'll be back next week in Lombok. Hope you've enjoyed the show. See you next time. Bye for now. See you then.